What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another training week. Starting off with deadlifts here as per usual. We're going to try to work our way up to a heavy single and get some redemption here from the last few weeks. Didn't feel the greatest this week. Just kind of went through the motions. Was hoping that I would kind of recover and feel more like myself. Not sure what I'm doing here, but I was exaggerating these lockouts a lot. Trying to think back to what I was doing, and there really was no rhyme or reason. I was just kind of feeling the movement, so you usually don't need to exaggerate that much. But moving fast here, everything looks like it's moving as it should. Working up in weight here, and just trying to stay focused and consistent with that. So spending some time making sure I'm in a good position so that I can finish the lifts pretty well, and seem to be working pretty well in this workout so far. 530 single here right before my top set, and here's a 580, which I'm gonna let it play through, and then I'll kind of let you know my thoughts. So obviously, Struggle City, not the cleanest rep in the world. It is what it is, better than not locking it out, so wouldn't consider that a rep, but that weight did move. So moving on here, SSB squat, going through the motions again, just tapering back down ever since we kind of reached that peak from the last video we did, where we hit that heavy double, coming back down into a deload, and then I'm going to rinse and repeat the same program again. This time it didn't really go my way. Ended up getting sick halfway through about the program, and then the ending portion, got a little jaded, a little messed up, but you have to keep moving forward and kind of keep pushing through. So I was able to get the reps in. The 1 rep max strength wasn't quite there, so I'm going to have to make some changes and stuff, and that can be anything from eating, rest, letting myself get used to the current conditions with allergies and stuff, and just kind of planning ahead for future lifts and endeavors in this way. So just going to continue to lift. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to make adjustments if I don't hit the weight I'm supposed to hit. I'm going to, do some math calculations, maybe take 10% off, and then do the same thing, work my way up, try the next week to either reclaim those lifts or just kind of move on to the next thing. So it is what it is. When you're training a bunch of different lifts, it's hard to optimize everything, but this is how I prefer to train. I'd rather have everything moving all at once. That's what keeps me motivated, keeps me coming to the gym, and that's how I've always done it, so I'm going to keep doing it that way. Couple different angles here, just kind of really showing how to try to stay upright on this SSB. I'm really trying to emphasize the squat, the sit back, so that it carries over to my, my main compound movement, the barbell back squat. I don't want to lose these lifts. I want to become efficient, and SSB just kind of helps emphasize staying upright so you don't tap forward, lose that rep due to bad positioning and stuff like that. So hybrid rows here, just doing a few reps, nothing too crazy, just trying to eliminate momentum, a little bit of momentum here. So I'm probably going to come down and weight on these and just kind of build back up. Sometimes when I'm peaking and I'm setting new PRs, the reps look cleaner and cleaner, and then sometimes, depending on how fatigued I am, they may suffer a little bit. But again, these rows are not strict rows. These are hybrid rows. That's why I'm calling them hybrid rows. They're designed to get momentum off the ground and get that row so that I can generate a lot of speed off the floor with my deadlifts. And I feel like that's been the best accessory movement to get speed off the floor on the deadlifts. The issue on those, of course, is the lockout, which can be addressed in other ways. Showing my T-bar row here again, and really just, again, another angle, and this mirror definitely needs to be cleaned. But just kind of showing you, I am doing the accessory work. I am building muscle. Arms are looking pretty good here. I'm pretty happy about that. And just trying to grind through, and I'll sometimes change grip. I'll go narrower or wider depending on, what I want to do. As long as that weight is being moved and I'm adding poundages to the lifts, I'm really happy about that. I just want to have progressive resistance and make sure I'm growing and getting better each and every week. So sometimes when you're striving to achieve those heavier lifts, you might fail a few times. You might not hit as many reps or might not hit the weights that you wanted to hit. Lat pull down here, kind of a cool angle here, I figure. Play around with the lighting and stuff, and just trying to emphasize on getting lat contraction. And I mentioned before in other vids, the wider you go, I tend to get a better lat contraction, though I am, preferably a narrow stance squatter, deadlifter, bencher, so to speak. So it's it makes sense to train those muscle groups in the way that you're going to utilize them best, but I'd rather get the lat contraction on these isolation exercises. transitioning over to OHP and upper body day, and just kind of really getting these moving and practicing my form to make sure I don't misgroove, which is how I lose most of my my heavy singles. Usually the first rep's a little rough, and then I correct it on the second or third. Just warm-ups here, pretty same warm-ups you're used to seeing. Throwing on the belt here, my little lower back was taking a little bit of beating from the other lifts and stuff like that, so I just kind of preparing myself for the heavy set. And as I mentioned before, we're coming down, so we're still getting the stimulus with the heavier weights, but just emphasizing the technique and not doing as many reps. Top single here of 210, which is fine. I did want the 220, a little bit of struggle here. Would not have gotten 220 if I tried that again. So next cycle, next peak, I'm going to have to try to keep that in mind. And then I did some back offs here just because, I didn't hit the heavy single I wanted, and I wanted to do some more work and slower reps here just to emphasize technique and get a little bit more stimulus in the area there. So I was happy about how these were looking, and I just accepted my fate, so to speak. I missed the lifts I was supposed to hit. So we're going to do some groundwork to come back stronger, to come back more efficient, and then learn my lessons. Sometimes I find if I'm lifting and I miss lifts, but I get, 3/4 of the way there, I can get it the next set. And I close grip bench press, my shoulder was bothering me, so I really just stayed at 155 here. Did some reps just to get the movement down, but the weights were not going to be able to move today, just based off of how I was feeling. I do like to still do the movements, just adapt and make sure everything's still firing and working the way it should. Dumbbell overhead press here, pretty typical. Just trying to figure out where I want to feel these, to be honest. Like, I've been experimenting with rotating slowly inwards. It's a weird movement when you're just going directly out to the side, but the goal is constant tension on the shoulders, so I'm trying to find where exactly I want to do that. So you're going to see the workouts coming up here. Thanks for watching. This one's shorter, and I've got a little bit of information at the end if you want to just stick around and take a listen to that. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the latest video. If you want to help support the channel, I actually own my own wet shaving and grooming e-commerce website where everything's handmade by me. It's www.apexsoaps.com, and you can get a 10% off code using wet shaver. We've got some cool scents here. We've got some Coca-Cola scents, a horchata scent, traditional barbershop, just some really cool stuff, and you can purchase samples or you can buy the whole set. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Be quick to respond. Thanks for watching.